It's been more than 2 years since we've seen Manny Pacquiao inside a boxing ring, and we're just 2 days away from one of the greatest boxers of this and any generation making his return to the ring. On Wednesday, the main event press conference for Manny Pacquiao versus Ugás took place in Las Vegas. Let's hear from Manny Pacquiao first.
It's a good thing that we can settle it down, the dispute about the WBA belt. It's not good for me to strip my belt without fighting me, without challenging me. So let's see if he will get the belt on Saturday.
Sí, otra vez he tomado pelea con antelación. Siempre he ganado. Es la primera vez que está en esta situación. Aún así, pienso que es una leyenda. Pienso que esto no le va a afectar en nada. Y el sábado vamos a estar los dos listos. No hay excusa.
All right, Ak, I'm seeing respect on both ends, but that usually happens with a Manny Pacquiao fight, especially from his end. You figure when he fought Adrian Broner says a lot of things to get under your skin. It didn't work against Manny Pacquiao. I think the only thing that caused a chip on their shoulders was caused by the WBA. and they both want to prove them wrong, like I'm the real champion. But how does Ugás, how does he do that in the ring? How does he defeat this legend of Manny Pacquiao?
Well, first off, Barack, you know, in terms of those guys having respect for one another, if you haven't noticed in the sport, usually when two guys are that respectful, you're gonna get a crazy fight. A lot of times, a lot of guys that do a lot of the talking, like Adrian Broner, don't bring that same energy into the boxing ring. So that's what I like about this duo. We know that we're gonna get a real fight. How he does it, by being himself, but is being himself good enough to beat Manny Pacquiao? Barack, here's the thing with me. Ugás is a very tricky guy. We all know he comes from that Cuban stable. The only difference is he throws a lot of looping punches, and you know, as I do, that Manny Pacquiao is a guy that comes up the middle with straight punches, and he is very quick. Normally, that guy gets off faster. He usually lands the punch first because of, you know, the guys that come with that looping style. And that's why it's gonna be tough for Ugás to win this fight, in my opinion. But we also have to consider the fact that Manny Pacquiao is 43 years old. Everybody keeps looking back at the Keith Thurman fight. That was amazing to watch a 41-year-old man do what he did against that young killer. But 2 years is a long time. We all know Father Time is undefeated. We don't know what Manny Pacquiao we're gonna get. We have to expect that we're gonna get the legend that keeps on going, the Energizer Bunny, right? That keeps on going. But guess what? What if the battery ran out within these 2 years? And what if we don't get that same Manny? What if we get the sloppy Manny that fought, and no disrespect to Manny, but when he fought Jeff Horn, he was a little lackadaisical. He allowed Jeff to get into that fight. If we get that Manny Pacquiao, Ugás scores an upset on Saturday night. But by Manny's aura, his energy, Barack, I don't know. I think we're going to see something special from the 43-year-old.
You know why Father Time is undefeated? Because we only say a fighter was beat by Father Time when he loses. Right. I think Father Time is defeated. I think he has a few defeats on his record. I think guys like Bernard Hopkins defeated him plenty times. And then all of a sudden he lost. So do we say, oh, that's the one? That's the time Father Time came in and beat you up? No, he was already defeated. And Manny Pacquiao's already doing that. He's already defeating Father Time. Now, I think that in order to have a good deduction or a good game plan on how to beat somebody, you look into their track record and say, have they ever been beat before? Yes, Marquez had a good chin. He was able to take his punches, and he had great timing. That's one way. Also, Floyd controlled the distance with Manny Pacquiao and had great timing, but he controlled the distance. He was first when he needed to be, and he knew how to counterpunch him. And I think when I look at the Ugás versus Sean fight, Ugás would catch Sean sometimes coming in, but he would take that step back. And that's what you got to do with Manny. But you also got to do, you can't just go straight back with Manny, because that's what Thurman did in the first round, and he got dropped. You have to be able to move laterally, and you got to be able to control distance and keep him away with your length.
Yeah. I think Ugás is a hell of a fighter, Barack. I just think that he gets a lot of credit for the Sean Porter fight, as he should. But Sean is the type of fighter that kind of gives you a lot of opportunities to land shots because he stays in the line of fire. He takes risks in that ring. and they went to war. So
this was a different Sean Porter. Sean Porter was boxing, trying to go in and out, and double jabbing a lot.
No. But in that fight, I watched it recently because of this fight, and there were a lot of moments where he was in the middle of the ring going to war with Ugás, which gave Ugás, maybe made him look better than he is. I'm not saying he's not good. Please don't get that wrong. I think he is a solid world champion. And I think that, you know, to your point, the WBA and all that nonsense that they have going on is probably causing some sort of tension between those guys. But they're two professionals. One's a legend. You know, one is trying to become one. And I think they're going to leave it all in the ring. I don't know how Ugás beats Manny Pacquiao. If he upsets him, I would not be shocked. It wouldn't be the biggest upset I ever saw. It would be a slight upset only because Manny is who he is, but you have to consider the age and you have to consider the fact that Ugás has momentum. He's on a rise, so I wouldn't be shocked, but I'm looking forward to seeing the fight.